Hello, and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are currently playing through CODA, where Kazusa has just found out about her mother's illness, as well as finding out that everyone around her was lying to her about it, which was a terrible thing. So here we are. Haruki is finding out all of this from Youko-san. We'll continue from here.
それも俺のせいです。あいつを騙そうって考えたのも、陽子さんにそうさせたのも。
あなた、ちょっと自分で背負い込もうとしすぎよ。たかが昔の男が親よりもしゃしゃり出てくるのはどうなのよ。
いや。
すいません。
そこで謝るのも確信犯よね。私が巻き込んだことに文句一つ言わずに。
そこまで言うなら、お互い様ってことで。
そうね。落としどころはその辺にしておきましょうか。
If Yoko-san is being punished for deceiving her own daughter, then I should be punished for hurting the person precious to me.
それで、カズサは
どこに行ったかは知らない。でも多分、前よりも簡単に見つかると思うわ。しばらくは立ち上がる気力も失ってたもの。
陽子さん、俺はどうすればいいんですか？
私がどうすればいいか教えてくれたら、その質問に答えてあげるわ。
This isn't about accepting my punishment. It's just that the fact that there is a deep wound in Kazusa's heart is paining my heart too.
とりあえず前回と同じ薬を投与しといて、で目覚めたら僕に直接連絡して。
精密検査の方は？
ああ、それも僕が診断してからにする。とにかく今日はずっとこっちに詰めてるから。
ちょっと待ってくれよ。これ一体どういうことなんだよ。
ああ、大丈夫大丈夫。お母さん少し安静にしてたらすぐ退院できるから。
なんでみんなこんなに分かってるんだよ。
And this is so unfair to Kazusa. Obviously, she's going to be broken knowing her mom is the way that she is. But now finding out, like, oh, you know, you were the only one that didn't know. She was being left out of the loop. That's horrible.
病室で騒がないでください。患者さんが起きてしまいますから。
まあ落ち着いて。こういうのは大げさに見えるけどよくあることなんだから。
よくあるってどういうことだよ。母さん何度もこうなったことあるのか。お静かに。
カズサちゃんだっけ。ちょっと喫茶室でお茶でもしようか。
母さんは平気だよな。ただの貧血なんだよな。
とにかく落ち着こう。今はお母さんを休ませてあげようね。
でも
今は眠ってるだけだ。平気だよ。さ僕と一緒に。
自分の孫と同じくらいの娘を引っ掛けようとするな。相変わらずあんたは。
I don't think that was his intention.
母さん。
陽子ちゃ
ん。なんだかまたいらぬ世話をかけたみたいね。でももう大丈夫だから。ありがとう、ノリ君。
しかし君の体のことは。
娘と二人きりにしてちょうだい。私から話すから。
Oh, yikes.
母さん。
That is a sentence no one wants to hear.
と、まあそんなところ。カズさん、
冗談だろ。
ええ、超悪質な冗談よ。 といえば、今からでもあなたは信じてくれる？
なんで今なんだよ。
本人よりショック受けられても困るのよね。あくまでも症状が出たのは私の方なんだから。
あんた約束したよな。娘より先に死なないって言ったよな。
You can't make a promise like that.
人生基本的には先送りよ。そんなことを本気で信じてる方が痛いんじゃない？人間死ぬ時はあっけないもんよ。私だって今まで何度もそういうの見てきたし。そりゃまあ病気になったのも、それをあなたに知られたのも不本意ではあるけれどでも知られてしまった以上は少しでも前向きに捉えないとね。あなたのいざって時のこと覚悟しておいた方が。
Oh man.
ちょっとカズさん。
God, it's so horrible. I hate it.
あなたは
長生きするって言ったじゃないか。私のために体に気をつけるって。なのにどうしたらいいんだよ。何もなくなっちゃったじゃないか。下がるもの一日で全部なくしちゃったじゃないか。
Gosh. Oh God.
あー、ごめん。よしよし。ほら、こっちおいで。まったく、あなたが赤ん坊の時だってこんなことしなかったわよ。まあしなかったからこそこんな子に育っちゃったんだけどね。ごめん、カズさん。
And imagine right now, Yoko's trying to be so strong, right? Because she's the one with the illness. She's the one that, the fear of dying and the fear of leaving everything behind. And she has to be strong to comfort someone who's still alive. That it's so hard.
このまますぐ死んだら確かに早すぎるけど、安心なさい。そんなに簡単にはくたばらないから。
本当？
一応これでも100まで生きるつもりだしね。
No.
また裏切ったりしないよな。そんなこと信じるのは痛いとか言わないよな。
さっきは言い過ぎたわ。ごめん。
一緒にいてくれるんだ。母さんだけはずっと一緒に。
カズさん、
帰ろう。コンサート終わらせて早くウィーンに帰ろうよ。家でゆっくり寝てればすぐに治るよ。そして治ったらまたピアノ弾こう。私これからは母さんの面倒も見るからさ。そうだ、一緒にコンサート開くなんてのもいいな。連弾とかしたことないよな、私たち。
All beautiful, beautiful and unrealistic thoughts.
私も母さんの添え物って言われないようにもっと腕を上げないとな。これからはコンサートもコンクールももっとたくさん出て。
カズさん、
頑張って頑張って、いつかあんたと並び立つくらいに。いや、超えてみせるからさ。だからずっと私のものすごく高い目標で、呆れるくらい強い敵で。カズさん、
Oh god, don't you cry.
もう隠し事はしないわ。あなたをこれ以上欺きたくないから。コウソン、ごめんなさいカズさん。でもやめろ、やめて。
私の冒険はここまでよ。
There's nothing even to say. It's just so sad. Isn't it? It's an inevitability for so many people. It doesn't make it any less sad. But the truth is out. The sun had already set when I left through the after-hours entrance. Now the cold winter wind blows against my face without mercy. Looking at the clock, I see that it's well past 10 p.m. Come to think of it, it's well past visiting hours. It seems that the hospital gave me special treatment in more ways than one. I leave the hospital grounds and step onto the Hojo University campus. Since it's nighttime during the exam period, there isn't anyone else around. Despite that, there are still some illuminated windows in the school buildings. What a tame scene to have immediately after something that was so heartbreaking. It's like the game is telling you, like, okay, take a breath. We're gonna give you a quick break from being sad before we throw the next sad thing at you, because it's White Album 2. That's the whole game. I recall spending countless nights under those lights too.
じゃあさ、朝ごはん食べに行くときに起こして。おやすみ。
I miss Chiaki. I seem to remember a strange caterpillar always hanging around my feet, though. A classmate who brought her sleeping bag to the lab, even though she never actually bothered to write her thesis. She did successfully make it to the 4th year, but I started seeing her less and less after that. I never saw her at the graduation ceremony either. Now that I mention it, I do believe I once ran into her in the streets after I got employed. She had become unbelievably beautiful during the time I hadn't seen her. No, she was probably exceptional to begin with. When I asked how she was doing, she avoided the question by suddenly licking my ear before disappearing into the crowd with cackling laughter. Dude, could you imagine? First of all, this is a very Chiaki thing to do. Second of all, can you imagine if you were just like, you saw an old friend and you were like, hey, how are you doing? And they just licked your ear. Like, awful. Hilarious. Awful. And before I knew it, I had 2 tickets for a play in my pocket. They were platinum tickets for a troupe even I knew about. I have absolutely no clue what she was trying to tell me, but I suppose that was proof that she hadn't changed one bit.
ねえ、ハルキ。私はね、本当はあんたの思いの深さを知ってるよ。物語にしても遜色のないあんたたちの綺麗な思いを知ってるよ。ここまで引っ張ったんだ。どうせなら最後まで突っ走って綺麗な物語を綺麗なまま完結させてほしいな。
Oh, we sure are trying. Sure are trying for a beautiful ending. Back then, she was a precious female friend to me, someone who I didn't really see as a woman. At times, she'd say something strangely clever, making me wonder sometimes whether she truly knew everything about me. Izumi. Right now, I'm suffering because my feelings are as deep as you described them to be. And I'm unable to produce a beautiful ending to this supposedly wonderful story, just like you hoped I could. Tell me, Izumi, what did you know about me back then? I mean, short of everything? And right now, do you know exactly what it is I should do? Looking at the clock, I can see it's almost 11 p.m. Since I'm walking so slowly, and also immersing myself in nostalgic memories, it took me a whole 30 minutes just to leave the university grounds. The cold wind chills me to my core like always, making me loathe the idea of staying in this place. But I also know that my thoughts will grow dull the moment I think about where to go instead. Yoko-san said she had a clue about where Kazusa is, and I have a good idea about where that place is myself. But I don't have the determination to go there right now, because I still don't know what will happen once she comes out to the world. That's why I can't knock on her door just yet. I need to make my resolve about everything by the next time I meet her. Honestly, this internal monologue should have happened like in Vienna. It should not be happening now. He should have been like, you know what? My feelings are all over the place. I need to sort them out. I need to take some time. But he didn't. Until now, when they're really in the thick of everything. Not about our plans for the coming 2 weeks. Not about what I'll do until her concert in Japan is over. It must be about the rest of Kazusa's life, and my own life. About where I'll live, and who I'll live with. I can't go see her until I've fully made my resolve. Toma Yoko's death as a pianist. Given that Kazusa admired her and viewed her as her rival, it's not something she can ever bring herself to fully accept. Because Kazusa never had her eyes on anything else, to one day surpass Toma Yoko while she is still in her prime in a direct confrontation. To be able to sneer at her own mother, for them to insult each other, honor each other, hug each other, and cry together. Her aim was so focused on that specific goal that it might be accurate to call it her final goal as a pianist. But today, the summit Kazusa aimed for vanished without warning. Oh, goodies. It's closed already. This restaurant really has no interest in making money during nighttime, just like always. Though there really is no need to complain about that. Because I'm not actually hungry. Also, this place is located on the way home, so I didn't waste my time coming here. I just thought that perhaps...
お店の前で陰気な顔して突っ立ってないでください。他のお客さんが逃げちゃいます。
I miss
そんな顔
Koharu.
はキッチンの中でしててください。たまには。
She's so adorable. She knew what she was doing. Obviously, there was a lot of drama in her route, but still, it was a lot less drama than right now. Also, just a little picky thing. Restaurants do not leave their little flags up after they've been closed. Those should definitely be inside the restaurant if they're fully closed. Someone might be here to cheer me up. Without any good reason, I might have led myself to believe something so convenient. The junior who started working here without a choice, so she could pay for her graduation trip. With a naturally over-serious, diligent, and fearless attitude, she managed to take over the reins of the restaurant before we knew it, and became someone absolutely vital to the restaurant in a mere 3 months. Eventually, the other employees begged her to stay after she graduated, which she did. And soon after, she became the poster girl for the restaurant, attracting dozens of repeat customers. I came here 2 or 3 times after I got employed, but she just lectured me with a sulky expression, just like old times. Come to think of it, Setsuna, who was with me at the time, muttered something on the way home.
あの子、まだ春樹くんのこと好きだよ、きっと。
Aww, that's cute and true, little crush. I have no clue what gave her that idea. I was just some good-for-nothing guy in her eyes, but that was precisely the reason she could never let me out of her sight.
先輩のことを知るためです。自分にとってわからない人でいてほしくないから。私の近くにいる以上、そういう態度は改めてもらわないと困ります。気になるからです。先輩に興味を持ってしまうからです。
She was a troublesome junior who would poke her nose into the business of anyone, regardless of who they were. No, the weaker the person was, the more invasive she became. I wonder what she'd do if Kazusa appeared in front of her. Kazusa might be a stranger to her, but would Koharu be able to ignore her when she has lost all faith and everything precious to her? And you see, this is the kind of thing that would be great for Kazusa. It would be great for her to make some friends. Sugiura Koharu. What would you think if you met Kazusa? You, who are widely regarded as being similar to me. Maybe she'd fall in love with her. That would be a fun ending. It's the Koharu and Kazusa ending.
あの子はピアノを愛してる。けど、私みたいに人生そのものじゃなかった。
If one were to ask Yoko-san, then she isn't someone who can live as long as she has her piano. She's not such a pure musician.
あの子はピアノを愛してる。だって弾いている間だけは愛する人と触れ合えたから。
それって陽子さんの。
まあ確かに私もあの子の世界の中の数少ない住人ではあったでしょうね。けどもちろん今の例えは私のことじゃないわよ。
reality is terribly harsh, and it's terribly lenient on me. That's why Yoko-san didn't try to hide her irritation about my indecisiveness.
そうやってピアノを弾いている間だけ触れ合える人たちがいたから、あの子は毎日飽きもせずに弾き続けていただけ。
Someone who does exist in reality, but can only be met in her fantasies. Someone who'd be by her side and guide her. Even when fantasy and reality are put together, only a few people comprise her entire world.
けど厄介なことに、あの子は私ほどピアノが好きじゃないくせに、私より才能だけはありやがったのよね。
She played the piano without rest every single day, just so she could communicate with a small number of people. In a twist of irony, her exceptional talent led those performances to be accepted worldwide.
そんなあの子が自分の道を自分で見つけられるか。
That's why, even if she still has her piano, if there is no one she can communicate with through those sounds, then there might not be any purpose in it at all.
2番線、本日最終電車になります。お乗り遅れのないようお願いします。ドアが閉まります。ご注意ください。
What will happen to Kazusa from now on? I'm sure those who know her only as Toma Yoko's daughter, world-famous young pianist, would say something like the following. Take after the path your mother took, or travel the world like your mother, or your mother can't keep at it anymore, even if she tried. And in response to those people, I'd probably say something like, don't go running your mouth about something you know nothing about, in an indignant rage. It's nothing so simple. She doesn't have that kind of resolve. After all, she actually is a really weak person. She's incredibly naive and without determination. She doesn't live in the normal reality most people live in. Not only that, even in the unnatural reality she lives in, she still is a true genius who managed to improve through effort, independent of her talent and painful fantasies.
まもなく1番線御宿行きが参ります。白線の内側までお下がりください。
And now, she has broken down at her very foundation, losing everything she built up, all because of a nobody like me. I mean, well, kind of? Can I still ask her to gather her resolve despite that? But you can't just tell someone. That's like going up to someone who's depressed and being like, hey, stop being depressed. Why don't you help her through other means? Why don't you, bring her to a group and, try to get her some friends? Or, I don't know, go to a support group together or so. Honestly, I don't think he should even be in her life at this point. But he could be doing other things rather than just being like, it's fine, Kazusa, do your best. Can I ask her whether she still intends to hold the concert as planned? And how she plans to live her life from now on? Can I ask her whether she'll live in Japan with her mother, just as Yoko-san wants her to? Or if she'll convince Yoko-san to return to Vienna with her? Or perhaps, if she plans to go down the path Yoko-san was supposed to go down, standing above countless people and challenging the world together? Oh, so many ors. Or, if she plans to go down the path Yoko-san was supposed to go down, but unwilling to rely on others and challenges the entire world by herself? Or perhaps, there's no point trying to think of every possible answer. Am I supposed to tell her to give up? Yeah, oh yeah, that's a great answer. Hey, Kazusa, give up. Am I supposed to tell her that the man she loved, the man who loved her, doesn't exist anymore? I mean, he did. He already did. He was like, I'm not the same person. Setsuna changed me. Am I supposed to tell her to face the fact that our feelings just never came to fruition? And that goes for the both of us.
2番線発車いたします。ドアが閉まります。ご注意ください。
You can't sort through every possibility and come up with an answer. That's life. That's how it goes. Or perhaps, this really is the worst imaginable possibility, but she might end up abandoning both her mother and her piano. Will she turn her back on the world she has lived in up until now and shut herself into a new, tiny world that she herself desires? Will she turn her back on the expectations her surroundings have for her, as well as the feelings of her family? Will she feign strength despite her weak heart and approach a future where any semblance of a normal world would be ruined? How ridiculous. Of course she isn't capable of that. She could never make such a dreadful choice. She will stand still in place, crying all the while. That's why such a possibility is impossible. In other words, that's not something she is capable of alone. It's a future that is physically impossible for her to reach. Assuming that no one gives her a push from behind. If that's the case, if she can't decide by herself, will someone else decide her life for her? Will someone tell her what to choose? But wouldn't that be the same as determining her life for her? Doing so might be arrogant. It might be the deed of a devil who toys with the lives of people. But does that mean that it's okay for that someone to do nothing? Is it okay for that someone to not protect Kazusa? Look, you can help your friends all you want, but like you're saying to yourself, you can't determine people's future. You can't, like, manipulate everybody to having a happy ending. That's not how life works. It's just ridiculous to even imagine the possibility. At some point, the date changed. And on that lovely note, I think we'll stop off here before we continue delving into Haruki's memories. So, thank you so much for being here with me on this episode of White Album 2, and I'll be back with the next one shortly. Until then, hope you take care. See you!